What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have some pretty big news, and the first thing I'm going to start this video out with is the Mustang is going to SEMA. As you guys know, Dyna, they're the ones that create the Apple CarPlay interior panel there. I have been working with them for a while now, and I've been able to give you guys discounts. I've been making videos with them showing how to install it, how to add the backup camera. I even worked with JATO Performance, which is a little bit about this video as well, to get the carbon fiber interior kit all made for the Dyna interior head unit. So by working with those brands and working with Dyna, they actually invited me out to SEMA at their booth. So the Mustang is actually going to be a SEMA Dyna booth vehicle. So I'm pretty excited about this. This is something like, I guess when I first started with the Mustang, it's something I dreamed about, is getting it to SEMA, and that's actually gonna happen this year. Now that doesn't mean that it's going to SEMA in its current state. There's actually gonna be quite a lot of transformation happening, and the first thing, the biggest thing, is going to be the wrap is coming off. There will be another colored wrap, and you guys will see that here soon, but the wrap is coming off. Also, there's a lot of little things on the car that need to be fixed up, spruced up, and just cleaned up. So that's also gonna be the game plan, getting it SEMA ready. SEMA happens at the beginning of November this year, so we have a little bit of time, but I don't wanna put everything off until the very end, so I wanna start kind of getting this ball rolling. And the first thing to do that is honestly to start the vehicle and get it driving and get the fluids moving, because yes, it has been sitting for quite a while because we've had the Bronco. Honestly, it's like this brand was listening, because this brand Topdon sent out a battery jumper because the vehicle is actually dead. And it's kind of weird because it's like Topdon was listening to me, or like they already read my mind, but the battery on the Mustang has been dead. It's literally sat for so long and hasn't been driven enough to where the battery is losing its charge with everything connected to it. So this right here is a portable battery jumper that's actually going to be used to start this vehicle. Now I'm actually not gonna show me using it because I did this a couple days ago. I got impatient and just thought, you know what, I need to put miles on this thing. So I drove the Mustang to do some errands. But what really impressed me about this is that when I first put it on, nothing worked. Like you couldn't turn on the headlights, the side markers, like nothing worked. I really thought, like, what the heck? They sent me this crazy, terrible jump starter that doesn't even work. Like that's for sure not making it into a video. And lo and behold, I looked at the instructions. There's actually a power boost button that's on the side. When I did the power boost, immediately I could hear like the high pitch whine of my HID headlights. Everything was starting to run, and I could tell like, oh, that's what it was. Like it was so dead, the battery was so dead that not even a normal jump start would have worked. It used the power boost, which just sent all of that energy into it, started up, no problem, everything was working. Now when we unlock the car, you can see the lights and everything work, and that's because I drove it probably about 100 miles or so the last couple days here. So it is getting charged, but I think it's about time for a new battery. So we're gonna add that to the list of things that needs to get done before it heads to Las Vegas. We're also gotta just clean things up, pull off the wrap, maybe change up the look a little bit. And also some of the carbon's looking a little tired over the years, rock chips and driving it. Things just kind of get that messed up. There's a little clear coat peeling there as well. It really just needs a whole bunch of cleanups, and these are minor things, but when you're going to SEMA, everyone's looking at every single detail of these vehicles, and it's under nice, bright convention lights, so you want to make sure everything is on point. So for today's video, the topic is the Dyna Performance Carbon. So you guys can see I got the Dyna N8 in here, which is the new wireless CarPlay head unit. Well, all of their carbon, I guess, got upgraded because Dyna Performance reached out to me and said, do you want the new version? And I said, I don't know what's different. They said, you'll see in person. So they sent out the full kit with all new carbon. So I'm gonna be peeling this off, putting on the new carbon surround on the Dyna, and ultimately I think I'm adding a few more pieces. Like I think I'm getting these pieces now, a few other detail pieces. So I'm very excited about this because that's gonna be one of the main points of SEMA, because I'm here, or I will be there, for this head unit right here. So I got the mic on me, so hopefully you guys can hear this, but we're gonna go ahead and just move it over to the center of the garage so that way we can open both doors, and that way we can work on this thing. Oh yeah, I got the Topdon thing. Hopefully it doesn't fall off the hood. Yeah, she's a little dead. Sounds pretty good though. We'll go slow so we don't knock the Topdon thing that I left on the hood. Oh, she's a little rattly though. Hopefully it doesn't fall down and like mess up something, but I think we're okay, to be honest. fast. This is pretty cool. Whenever you pull it out, I did not have this. So Dyna Performance has made a lot of improvements in the last few years. I've actually had mine on there for a few years now. But what's really cool about it is it starts off obviously with your instruction manual. Pretty easy here. It's cleaning and make sure everything fits right. And you stick things onto the surface, making sure the temperatures are the right, temperature. But there you can see the Dyna Performance kit, or Dynavin and Dyna Performance. I really like that as well. I believe these are the inserts that are right here. So we have an all new dash kit. We have the all new door kit. We're gonna put everything on, and hopefully it's a pretty simple install like it was last time. You just peel it off, stick on the new stuff, and we'll have all new carbon inside. Looking side by side, what do I notice the difference, right? So the difference I'm seeing is it's less yellow. It looks clearer, it looks less yellow. The other thing too, I would say, is the fitment looks a little bit better. Looks like they changed this up. So this used to be two separate pieces. It looks like now they have this one big flexible piece which gets rid of a seam, which I really like. You can see that this does not line up the same. It's not the same pattern. Looks like they go in together. And this right here is all gonna match. Kind of peels up nice and simply. Might have to use a little hair dryer or a heat gun just to ease that, which is what I'll probably end up doing. It's going pretty well here. So we're gonna go ahead and peel all this stuff off, show you what we're looking at with a clean slate, and then put on all the new stuff with the blank slate. And yes, I do have hydro dipped center console, but this is going to be covered obviously. And this looks like crap if you compare that to real carbon with the depth and the gloss and shine. So real carbon here, fake hydro dip there, and then GT base dash all right here. So we're going to clean everything up. The only hiccup in the removal was these little door pulls. They have a little bit of adhesive left over, so I'm going to go ahead and start removing that. You can either use like a pencil eraser or adhesive remover. Just kind of take your time here, make sure this is all off. This side came out a little bit worse than that side, but those are the only things that really left any kind of adhesive. So we're gonna knock that out, and then we'll show the process of putting on all the new stuff. With these kits, a lot of people will sit there and say, oh, that's not real carbon. It's not a carbon replacement, so to speak. So I guess it's not real carbon replacements. What this is a carbon overlay. What this really is an actual sheet of carbon fiber with like a flexible poly clear coat on it, and then backed by 3M masking or tape on it, like adhesive tape. So it is real carbon fiber in here, but it's not carbon fiber replacement pieces. So you still get the look, but you may not have, obviously the weight savings or anything like that. It's really for the look. So don't let people say that it's not real carbon. It is real carbon. The only difference is that it's not weight savings type of carbon. We line it up like we said, kind of hover it. It's basically a giant screen protector / sticker, right? So if you do lightly touch it against something, just peel it back off. Let's get this edge aligned here. I'm gonna ride that top line as close as I can, and then kind of lightly tack. Make sure everything's looking good. Looks good to me. And then we'll actually put the pressure down and make sure it's all adhered across the edge. It's gonna match all the carbon fiber I already have on the exterior. And there you can see the door is now carbon fibered. Here's the completed project. We have the sides all done on each door. I just did a quick vacuum because the interior was just super dirty, but we have the carbon fiber, of course, on the steering wheel. We have the carbon fiber on the dash around the headlight controls. And then let's hop inside. We have the entire interior, which this does fit the Dynavin N8. So if you guys have that, that's what that looks like. Just need to clean the screen right there. That's not a scratch. But the whole center console and everything is all carbon fiber now. Same thing with the center, same thing across the dash. And of course, matching on that door as well. The carbon fiber steering wheel is also absolutely huge, especially because we have the accent stitching here. Yeah, everything is kind of coming along. Do need to give the Mustang some love to get it back to its former glory, which I have been mainly focusing on the Bronco, but we do need to get the Mustang SEMA ready. The Bronco's new and shiny, right? So I'm working on that. But the Mustang is ultimately really my dream car. It was my dream car, and I got it. So, and then now we're actually doing my dream event, which was SEMA. So I need to give this thing some love. There's a few things on it that need to be fixed, which I'm sure you guys may have noticed, and I'm gonna call myself out on. So let me go ahead and point those things out. Right up to the front, one of the things that really always bothered me was this front lip has had a gash on it, which literally is like the resin's cracked. It's actually not cracked on the carbon fiber, but it just looks so gross. The other thing is we have tons of rock chips like on the front splitter, which I do drive the car, or I did drive the car, and so it did get some rock chips. Same thing with like the grill, it needs to be repainted a little bit because it's got some rock chips. One of the biggest pet peeves though is coming from the headlights. And really I have to take responsibility on this. I believe this is because of me, but the headlights, well, one of the DRLs does not work. So that's what it's supposed to look like with the 2 bars. I did black out the headlights, custom built them with demon eyes, but on this side, one of my bars is out. To fix that, I have to take off the whole front bumper, I have to pull off that headlight, bake it, reopen it, which is a big hassle. It takes hours to do so, and then just replace the board. The board's actually been sitting in the garage for a while now. I've just been so lazy and reluctant to do it just because I've been working on the Bronco. And there's just a few things like a nice deep clean. So inside and out, everything needs to be cleaned, restored, really taken in there. I have even like the little paintbrush looking brush. I used to detail this thing religiously, like every Friday night after work, I would detail this thing so that way it was super clean for the weekend. Any shows, any events it happened to go to, this thing was absolutely spick and span. Now it sits with a layer of dust, which would have never happened when I first got the car. And that's just showing how my interest has changed over time, but it does deserve love. And I am enjoying driving this even more because the Bronco is just so big, it does not take corners or accelerate anything like this. So this thing still has a very special place in my heart, and so we should go ahead and give it some love. Being open the hood, there's a lot of things going on here. So I'm embarrassed, and I'm gonna just keep calling myself out. This is just stained with water, it's gross. Everything on the edge is just gross. I really didn't do that clean of wiring on my headlights and on the fuel system for the Whipple. Honestly, everything just needs a good scrub. So I did buy some cleaning brushes and things like that. I do think my battery is bad, so we need to get a new battery. But you can just see all of the dirt and grime underneath here. It really needs love. And that's just for me being lazy. Like that's the only excuse I have, is I was lazy. So I have never cleaned the engine bay on this. I usually do like a spot detail with a microfiber or something like that. But I'm gonna get in there and legit clean all of this with soap and water, or degreaser and water, so that way everything looks absolutely show ready. Thing is that at the show, this is going to be the main look, right? Everyone's gonna wanna see the interior. They're gonna be looking at that Dyna vent inside. This is really what we have to have nice and perfected, so that way at the show, windows down, it looks like an actual show car. To finish out this video, I am gonna do a little bit of stuff on the Bronco. I did get a big PreRunner bar, but the fitment isn't all that great on it. The one that I got, which was secondhand, it's got a little bit of fitment issues, so I will have to massage it a little bit, but I think it looks really sweet. We're gonna go ahead, and I have the new tools sitting at the front porch because of Amazon. So I'll get the new tools, I'll work on that PreRunner bar, and show you guys the finished result and kind of what I find along the way. Got the Bronco over here, and this is some weird weather, but it is fully sunny, and maybe you guys can see it, but it is sprinkling. But this is the PreRunner bar that I have on here. And you guys can kind of see what we're working with. So all the way scoot over, and you can see that we have it in there, right? And this one's gonna be a pain in the butt to get to because it's under the bar, which is always fun. But then we have some weird fitment going on. So it doesn't just sit flush there. These need to line up into that hole there, which it is not doing. So I have to like lean on it and try to get that to line up. And then as you can see, these ones are just not, there goes the dog. These ones are just not wanting to sit flush. So this isn't necessarily representative of all of the JCR PreRunner bars, but just this one that I got, which may or may not have been tweaked, but we are gonna throw it on there. I really like the look, and it'll help whenever I'm making U-turns, so that way, I could push into a brush or push into a tree and just not worry about it hitting the grill or the headlights. This is actually on there pretty well now, minus one bolt. This is the only one we can't get, and you can see it's just, if I can get the light in there, that's just not lining up right. What needs to happen is it needs to be kind of reamed out here on this corner, and I can't do that right now while the bar is on there. So what we're gonna do is probably one of these days take this off, I'll uninstall it, and then what I'll do is I'll ream out that corner, hit it with a little paint so it doesn't corrode or anything, and then we should be able to get that bolt in. But that was the only one, and it was starting to go in a little crooked. I did not want to cross thread it, so I'd rather not have a bolt there for a little while and then have the bolts and everything else. So it's still very strong. It's gonna push, like I could run right into this bush if I wanted to and protect my grill. But the big thing is I did not want to mess up the stock bumper. and just start cutting in. That's gonna be it for today's video. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. We did announce that the Mustang is going to SEMA. It's going to be getting some fixes done. It's gonna be cleaned up. It's gonna be getting some love. So we have some Mustang content on the way. And I'm gonna sprinkle in some Bronco content still as well. But this thing now looks sick with the JCR PreRunner bar. We have the Mustang now with the new carbon. And yeah, the next step would be to keep working on the Mustang and get it more SEMA ready. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right here. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.